In the low light before dawn, the army smiths hunched over a row of crude iron barrels, breathing steam into chilled palms. Once, war meant swords and arrows that gleamed and whispered. Now the battlefield's roar would be born of iron and fire. They had learned, through costly mistakes and nervous experiments, that stuffing a barrel with iron and pushing a stone ball down its throat would send a projectile stumbling forward, but not far enough. The fear that the whole weapon might tear itself apart haunted every test. So they thickened the gun's rear, bolstering the breech where the explosion thundered. Blacksmiths hammered strong hoops of iron around the barrels until they looked like the ribs of some mechanical beast. When powder ignited, those hoops held the pressure in, and a white-hot breath of gas forced the ball out with a new, terrible speed. Early gunners moved beyond stones. Nails, scrap, and specially forged bullets replaced the ruder projectiles. The ritual was the same: pour powder, tamp it down with a ramrod, ram the iron shot home, and prime the touch hole. The moment the fuse kissed flame, a hidden world of pressure and motion was unleashed. The ramrod's imprint vanished in a heartbeat as a cone of force drove the shot toward distant ranks. There was another problem: recoil. Each successful blast shoved the gun backward like a living thing resisting its owner, throwing gunners off balance and scattering crews. Ingenious minds solved this by anchoring the piece to a carriage fitted with ears, stout brackets that pinioned the barrel to timber. Wheels and iron tires were added so men could drag these new monsters across fields and bring thunder where it was needed. Aiming was as much craft as brute force. Marksmen learned to level the breech and align the muzzle. Wedges under the carriage changed elevation by inches that made the difference between hitting a cuirass and wasting a shot in the mud. They discovered that changing the number of bullets, or their weight, altered the charge needed. Thus was born a rough science of trajectories and ranges. Gunners forged different mouths for different purposes. Heavy shot to shatter timber and bone, grapeshot to rend marching columns, and incendiary powder bags to set wooden fortifications alight. Among these innovations, the Dutch gun, the red-coated marvel that thudded like thunder, became infamous. Where once men fought with blades and bows, now a single blast could decide the day. Commanders who mastered this weapon rose fast. Those slow to learn were swept into oblivion by iron and flame swiftly. In villages and courts, the new thunder altered politics, fortunes, and tactics. Artisans who perfected the craft were suddenly indispensable and revered.